Hey people, Kate Slink here. How are we doing? So, we're going to be looking at the Rogal Dorn battle tank. It's going to be the new guild boss, which is going to be coming in next season. This is going to be at legendary level 1s, and he's a beast at legendary level 1. So, I dread to think what he's going to be at like level 4, level 5. It's going to be fun. But first, we have got a code to give away, and this is a big thanks to everyone that supported me and subscribed. So this is only valid till next it's week today, the 12th of January. So it's Cage Slinky 3k, and you're going to get some gold, and you're going to get some Eldari. So you've got to be getting 3 shards of Ifana, 3 shards of Eldaron, and also 3 shards of the Morgan Ra. And this is just to say a big thank you. And if you subscribe and get to my next kind of 4k, I'm going to have more freebies, and everyone loves freebies. So there you go, Cage Slinky 3k. I'm sure it'll be shared across all social media as well. So first we're going to have a quick look at the stats. So we're going to pause it there. So we're going to go through and have a quick look at the stats only quickly, and then we're going to have a look through at some of the videos I did, some of the attempts and teams I used against this tank. And like I said, they're perfect. There could probably just some like tweaks here and there, but I think we're getting the idea. We'll see soon. So we've got Pound Them to Dust. So he performs a normal attack and marks an area up to 7 hexes at the beginning of the next turn. The tank deals 3 times heavy round damage to all units in a marked area, and it's a pretty decent as well. It's a pretty decent hit, that is. So the next one after that is the Gunners Kill on Sight. So it marks an area in front of the tank for 1 round. Whenever the enemy unit without infiltrate ends a move and a marked hex, or before it moves out of the marked area, the tank deals 6 times projectile damage to all units in the area. The ability ends early after 2 attacks have scored a crit, and this is at level 1, and this is probably one of its really tough kind of skills, especially if you've got summons that just set it off. Do you know what I mean? And it's a really big area, which you'll see shortly. So it is a bit of a tough one to get around, that one. I must say I've struggled with that one. The next one is Ablative Plating. So any incoming damage with less than 60% pierce ratio must go through the armor 3 times. Does not apply to crits. And this is another really important skill. You're going to need characters that have got that piercing ratio, because if you don't, you'll see, I think there's 1 or 2 times my characters I use don't have that pierce ratio, and you can see the difference for sure. So yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. The weaker rear armor, and this is again, it's kind of tough to get behind, but if enemies are in the inside the rear arc, which you can kind of see, the tank, their attacks have plus 50% crit chance against it, and it works really well, which again you'll see shortly. And the last but no means least is the if you press it now, that's it, the Armoured Might. This unit's movement is not blocked by other units. Instead, they get pushed and dealt 2 times melt damage. Summons and units that cannot be displaced are instantly destroyed, and it can really happen again. As you can see, I made a few mistakes in some of my runs where it's just really tough to get out of the way sometimes, and that tank is just going to run you over. So it's pretty exciting stuff. It's great to have a tank as a boss. I've really had fun kind of the few attempts that I've had against it. But anyway, let's chat. Let's look at the gameplay. That's what we're here for. So, as you can see, I'm just going to pause it here. So the team I took just for, this is like, I think this is the 3rd or 4th attempt. So we have Revis, we have the Neurothrope, we have Ulf, I've got to get his name right. We also have Eldron and Ifana. So Ifana's there just to try and get the crits up. I don't know if Ulf is the right choice. Sometimes you can see he does make some kind of like good hits. Revis again, I'm not quite sure on that character, but with a good neuro team, it can really do well. As you can see, it's just barraging down, and there you can see we're going to pause it there. There's the arc, and it's so tough. If you're in the wrong place like this team are now, you are going to have to take the brunt of this barrage. It's really tough to get out of the way. Sometimes you want it at the start. You'll see again where the tank kind of arcs when it moves, and that can be a bit more helpful. So it's kind of positioning that first time just to get the right way. But you can see there, Ifana goes around the back and gets some great hits and crits round the back, and then we've got the Neuro with just a bit of a crit at the end also. So the annoying mortars are back against this and can be annoying, but again, it's going to be tougher at a high level. So it's just a case now here, getting behind. You can see Ulf does some great hits there. Ifana again, Neuro then again, and Eldron again does some great hits. And you're just going to get way out that barrage there, which is pretty easy to get out of the way of that one. So he's turning around now, and then he's going to do his arc, also having a bit of a hit. And again, this is where you need to get out of the way again. It's kind of tough. Ulf's quite good to get out of the way there. I was kind of struggling to get the crits. Apart from that, there's a couple of crits there. And then as soon as the crits are done, there you go. It vanishes. So the earlier you can get them crits, the less kind of damage you're going to be taking. Revis is in the wrong place, as you can see. And this is what's going to happen if you're in the wrong place. Squish. I did that on purpose for demonstration purposes. I really did. So anyway, as you can see, don't get in the way of that tank because it is just going to squish you. Again, this ain't a bad team. It isn't working too bad. Get out of the way of the blast. He's still got a mortar left, which is annoying. Go down to the last turn now. I don't think Ulf can just kind of make it. There we go. Get some nice crits there from Fana, Eldron. Nice hit there from Euro, and he's done. So all in all, 177,000, which weren't too bad on my kind of like, I'm sure it's my second, third, fourth attempt. But at that team, definitely a fan. It's definitely a great person to take. Ulf, I'm not too sure of. He's kind of hit and miss. Eldron is just everyone's favourite. Do you know what I mean? He always got to bring him along. Revis, I'm a bit unsure of. He kind of has his moments. I don't think he quite need him in crowd control because it just don't get close enough for him to do that. They don't even move much, to be fair. And Neurophobe, I definitely think a Neurophobe team is going to be great against this boss. So the next team we're going to be looking at is, I'll take Showcell with me, Abraxas. And then the same again, we've got Eldron. Jane Czar is another great character I think can do so well here. Getting for that piercing damage. And also if the troops are around the tank, you'll see shortly, she can kind of like chuck her shuriken, whatever you call it, shuriken weapon, and you can kind of clear some of them at the same time. So again, it's about positioning. Just get forward, and this time it kind of like pivots, and that's what I said at the start. If you can kind of get them to pivot, as you can see, half your team are kind of out of arc, so it does give you a bit more of a chance to try and get them crits, where I don't think I really got the crits. We got one crit there. Abraxas now is going to send his cronies out, the screamers, and again these screamers for the summons work well, but at the same time it can be a bit of annoyance, we'll see shortly. So Show still got in the way there, it's got tagged, but luckily enough he only took a bit of damage. Now this is the crit, look at the crits galore, and that's just been in the rear of the tank, so this is where they work well. Jane Czar always works well because she's got the piercing crit damage, and then we've got Eldron there, more crits because around the back, and then he's getting angry. We've only got the one mortar left, which is just killed one of Abraxas' summons. Now again, this is the worst thing now, because that moved, then you can see it set off the whole of the arc. So that's the only problem, is if you've got summons in that, as soon as they move, they're just going to be sending it off, and it can be pretty lethal. I think you'll see that in the last video, but we managed to get a couple of crits off there just to clear it, and we're in a good position here. We're at the side of the tank, so we're not going to get run over this time. Learn from your mistakes. And I think that's what it is with this guy. It's all about positioning. Again, I'm in a good position here. The screamers are going in there. No crits. No crits again. Looking for crits. Jane goes in. No crits. I was a bit unlucky there. So it's just going to be the case now of taking some of that barrage. Last crit there. That should clear it. Oof, there we go. So now you can just free to move around. Don't get in its way because it's going to be turning again. Bang! Abraxas was in the way, but hey, he took a bit of a nudge. So again, getting around the back, the screamer killers there are doing an amazing job. They've kind of cleared all the other guys, but they're also doing some great damage. Jane Czar there, I do think she's going to be a really good MVP for this boss. So if you've got her, I think kind of get her ranked up. She's going to be really good. And off he goes, and that's 100, just shy of 200,000, which weren't a bad kind of challenge. Now this one weren't as much. I did take out Tan, the new Adeptus Mechanicus, just to test him out to see how he is against this boss. And again, I think he's going to be pretty good, so he's going to be probably worth trying to get him soon, because I think he's going to help you on this boss. So again, we're in that lovely firing arc, which is difficult to get out at the first, but it's just about getting the crits without moving. Got 1 crit there, 2nd crit there, and we are free. So this is a bit of a Neurophrope team again, with the Adeptus Mechanicus as the summons. And that's what it's all about, I think, to begin with. It's just having a bit of a play around, trying different teams. This team worked okay, not as good as the last team. But get behind. Abraxas does the summons, and we get some nice neuro hits. The parasites are coming through. Again, look at all these crits, just purely because we're in that back arc. And the only issue is now we're going to see is, obviously now it's a case of doing that. Now you've kind of got to get out of the way. And this is the issue you've got. It's all about position, I keep saying. Because now he's going to shoot off, kills one of his own guys. I love it when that happens. Now the arc, you watch this now, the arc will open up. And this, straight away, it just kills all the summons purely because the summons are moved. And look at the damage it's done. It's killed Abraxas. It's killed all the Screamers. The rest have survived barely. And that's purely just the summons just getting out of the way. So there can be, I don't know, there's good and bad to them. They're going to be good because they're great for the crowd control. And as you can see, someone's got run over there. Again, I did that on purpose, just for demonstration purposes, to just show how dangerous it can when he runs you over. So yeah, summons, they can be great for this, but also at the same time, they can be a bit of a pain in getting out of that arc. Here's where they kind of come into play really for Tan, because he's got his kind of summons. There we go, he's got some nice damage. Fortunately, Eldron's not close enough to get some of the extra, but we moved there. Nice roll, and then we got Neuro, bang, nice little 26k hit. So 168,000 again, which ain't too bad. And that was it, really. That's my 3 attempts. I played around a few more of other teams. I don't think I've got the perfect team yet, but I think I'm getting close. I do think, like I say, testing out these different teams, which everyone will be able to do in a new season. You're going to be finding that kind of right team. I do think a Neurophrope team will be great. Not too sure on which summons yet. I think the Neurophrope team, if you've got Abraxas, I think it's going to be good. But again, it's just about kind of getting them in the right place. Not too sure on like your close hitters like Ulf or I don't think you can take Abaddon because not Abaddon, sorry, Ragnar, but just purely because he ain't got the piercing damage. And that's what it is. A lot of the Marines just haven't got that piercing damage, which is going to be really tough to kind of penetrate this tank. So there we go. What do you guys think? You guys got any teams in mind? I say I'm looking forward to kind of testing them out more in the real world and also seeing what other people come up with, because I'm sure there's going to be that perfect team for these. Yeah, like I say, some people stand out. And another one I haven't mentioned again is Jane Czar. I think if you've got her, I think it's definitely worth her getting her ranked up against this boss, because I do think she's quite good also. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Before I finish, this can change, but a disclaimer. So just bear that in mind that this might not be running 100% for when the boss does come out. They might make some quite tweaks or something's not quite right. So please bear that in mind. Disclaimer that it might not be 100% correct what you're seeing, but majority of it's going to be. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to check out some of my other videos and also hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Take care. Bye bye.